and in your family is the one who spare you and say, you know what, I ain't kill you right now. I want to teach you. Let me teach you how to be a killer. Let me explain what I mean. The reason why generational curses are so bad is because they teach. The demon is there to teach each generation. Follow me. You know what the worst type of rat poison is? The type of rat poison that don't kill right away. The rat poison that is killed after 5 or 10 days. Why? Because the rat eats the poison, but then he takes the poison back to the nest and he feeds the other rats with it. So now one of them poisoned, but then he teaches the other rats where to go for this food. So then they start going to the same place to get this food source. And so you kill off the entire population because you have one rat that teaches the other rats how to kill. And they end up getting killed off because all of them eating this poison. That is how generational curses work. That's why they're the worst curses for you to have in your family. So when you look at this, and you see from generation to generation to generation, everybody feeding off of trauma. Demons feed off trauma. Bahamas is the reason why. When you look at alcoholics, they say you are 4 times more likely to be an alcoholic if your father was an alcoholic. Why is that? It's not only genetics, because you were taught this. You've seen this trauma all your life. This is learnt. It's the reason why when you look at women who work in the sex industry, they work in strip clubs or they walk in the streets, 99% of them were molested when they were young. This was taught to them. Years and years and years of molestation, being raped, it teaches them how to automatically veer towards sexual promiscuity. It's a Jezebel spirit in their life. Generational curse. They're being taught this. Hurt people, hurt people. So anyway, like I said, I want y'all to read this book, and it's an audio book, and it teaches about spiritual warfare. In fact, we can talk more about generational curses next Sunday. I got a part 2 to this, because this one is deep. But the number one thing I want you to always remember about generational curses and why it's so important to fight that spirit is because it's being taught. It's being taught from generation to generation to generation how to feed off of trauma. That's like a poison. The devil ain't necessarily there to kill in the beginning. Don't worry, you kill every generation off. But in the beginning, he's not there to kill. He's there to teach. And you have to understand. So God brings you and bless us. God's protect us. And please help us to teach our children better, dear Heavenly Father. Please help us to read the Bible and read any other resources that you would have for us to help us to understand spiritual warfare. In Jesus Christ's name we pray. Amen.
The views expressed on this program are not the views of ZNS TV 13 and, by extension, the Broadcasting Corporation of the Bahamas.
At Bahama Boulevard, I'm Sean Innes. This is ZNS.
Your weekend news just got better. Exciting features. It's all about the feeling. It's the Northern Vibes with Raven Davis.
Good evening and welcome to Northern Vibes, your go-to show for everything arts, culture, entertainment, and so much more. I'm Shalia Roll. Thanks for joining us. The government is taking a major step towards the redevelopment of Grand Bahamas International Bazaar site as the Minister for Grand Bahama moved a resolution in the House of Assembly seeking approval for the government to enter into a guaranteed agreement with the Afro-Export-Import Bank for $1.8 million to support the development of an integrated Afro-Caribbean marketplace and logistics center. Romiko Knowles has the details.
The resolution seeks approval for the government to enter into a guarantee agreement with the African Export-Import Bank for $1.8 million to support the development of an integrated Afro-Caribbean marketplace and logistics center. Minister for Grand Bahama, the Honorable Ginger Moxie, says the initiative is rooted in leveraging the island's strategic advantages.
What we are embarking on is a game changer. With trade as a hot-button issue in the world, our major transshipment terminal, our proximity to the USA, Grand Bahama being the gateway to the Caribbean, with the diaspora considered the sixth region of Africa, the desire for cultural immersion, the historical ties that bind us, with the ever-growing African market, the 6 million visitors to soon visit the shores of Grand Bahama with Celebration Key and MSC's new investment at Freeport Harbor.
The minister says for nearly 2 decades, the former International Bazaar site has stood as a daily reminder of what Grand Bahama once was. She adds that it has also become a cautionary tale, showing how decline, when left unaddressed, can quickly become normalized.
When completed, the project is expected to transform Grand Bahama into a major trade and cultural hub, enhance the strategic position of the Bahamas in global maritime networks, foster economic growth, create jobs, and strengthen ties between Africa and Caribbean nations.
The opening of West Sunrise Highway also highlighted by the minister, who noted that the project has been a long-standing wish for many Grand Bahamians.
For 87-year-old Enos Emmanuel General Grant of Eleuthera Drive, Hawksbill, that's his one wish: to see the road between the Bazaar and Princess, West Sunrise Highway, reopened. Well, General Grant, your wish will soon become a reality.
Beyond this, the minister says Grand Bahama continues to see significant progress.
Real investments, Grand Bahama will continue its upward trajectory with investments like the $827 million Concord Wildshire, the $606 million Grand Bahama Shipyard redevelopment, the $600 million Celebration Key, the $450 million MSC Harbor development, the $348 million Xanadu Beach project, the $210 million Freeport Health Campus, the $200 million airport redevelopment, the $73 million Lewathon Statoil project, the $30 million Doctors Hospital flagship facility, and on and on and on.
In other news, tensions are rising over hiring practices at Grand Bahama Shipyard as Maybelle Bridgewater, president of the Grand Bahama Port Authority Workers Union, pushes back against claims of a skills gap among Bahamian workers. She says qualified Bahamians are being overlooked for jobs, raising concerns about safety, training, and the growing reliance on expatriate labor. Here's that report. Grand Bahama Port Authority's Workers Union president says she was taken aback by comments made by the Grand Bahama Shipyard CEO at a recent business outlook pertaining to a labor shortage on a skills gap on the island. Maybelle Bridgewater asserts that the union has repeatedly submitted resumes of previously redundant workers and other qualified Bahamians ready to enter the field. However, she says many of those applications are denied, while expatriate workers are brought in to fill the position.
The shipyard is really challenged in sourcing certified, trained, and experienced personnel to support our customers and their expectations.
Those remarks are being refuted by Grand Bahama Port Authority Workers Union President Maybelle Bridgewater, who asserts that Grand Bahama has adequate skilled laborers, but questions whether the shipyard is prioritizing local talent or foreign workers.
Even though we're not saying we don't accept diversity or expats coming in, we just wanted them to look locally and search locally first before inviting them in to the country in order to work.
Another major concern raised by the union is safety. The Grand Bahama Port Authority Workers Union president says some expat workers may not be fully proficient in English, creating language barriers when carrying out critical and potentially life-threatening tasks.
We're going to have a Bahamian employee just in on a high tower crane and an expat at the bottom who's supposed to be monitoring what's going down on the ground or what they're doing. how can you even relate because they can't speak English?
Bridgewater asserts that when foreign employees are brought to the island, the Grand Bahama shipyard is expected to cover rent, utilities, food, and transportation, in addition to their salaries. She adds that training opportunities already exist on the island through local companies and says Bahamians can be properly qualified to fill these positions.
The majority of expats that he's bringing in, wouldn't it be cheaper just to invest in our apprentices because that is more long-term than short-term?
And for young Bahamians who may feel discouraged by the alleged overhiring of expatriate workers, the union president says the organization is actively advocating to ensure more Bahamians are placed in these jobs.
So I just want them to stay encouraged and let them know the Grand Bahama Port Authority Union, along with the Labor Board, we are fighting on their behalf. It's not easy, but it's happening.
Meantime, a Florida-based company is reportedly in talks with the government and the Grand Bahama Port Authority to develop a nearly 60-acre stone crab farm in Grand Bahama, a proposal now igniting strong concerns from a local vendor. Matthew Martin Barrow shares more details in this report.
A Florida-based company is reportedly in discussions with the government and the Grand Bahama Port Authority to develop a nearly 60-acre stone crab farm, a move that could potentially dominate the Northern Bahamas' second most profitable marine product. 17-year veteran fisherman artist Curtlin Neely, who attended a private stakeholder meeting with a representative of the international company, is expressing concerns about potential market oversaturation.
I told them emphatically that I was not interested, and I don't think that anyone in the fishing industry would be interested in someone coming into the Bahamas with a stone crab farm that would produce anywhere from 3 to 6 million pounds of crab a year to put into the same markets that we sell. That pretty much wipe out the need of fishermen or processing plants.
Neely questions why the company would choose the Bahamas over its home state of Florida, given the similarities in marine life and climate.
Why leave Florida? Why not go to Key West? Why not go to the west coast of Florida? But you come to the Bahamas where you figure you could dangle a carrot in front of some desperate Bahamians or who you assume to be desperate and other things, and figure that we're going to bite. But we understand our resources, we understand the value, and we're not going to sell out to any foreign entity.
According to Neely, strong opposition to the proposal stems from fears that it could lead to losses nearly triple the current value of stone crab earnings. While that may benefit consumers, he argues it could negatively impact local operations.
So you're talking to fishermen that would probably get $18 per pound across the board now on stone crab. If we allow something like that to happen, that would become a $6 or $7 item. That would not even be able to pay the cost of operation. They put the guys out of business within a season or less.
Strongly opposing the proposal, Neely is questioning what it could mean for the future of Bahamian fishermen in local waters.
Today, crab, tomorrow, lobster. How do you stop it? Why do you even want to entertain it? Why do you want to open the door for it?
Switching gears now, a man accused of making a threat that caused widespread public concern appeared in court as authorities continue their investigation into the serious incident. The accused was formally arraigned before a magistrate where the charge was read in open court. Our Jolanda Thompson-Evers has more in this report.
It was a call that shocked the Grand Bahama community and Grand Bahama Island without electricity for hours. Police say a bomb threat made to the Grand Bahama Power Company has landed 32-year-old Ezra Green behind bars. He was arraigned here at the magistrate's court on Monday morning. Inside the court, there was a tense atmosphere as Green sat in the front row waiting to learn his fate. His wife sat in support while 2 residents quietly observed from the back of the courtroom. Magistrate Ewell Johnson, who is overseeing the matter, called Green's docket and read the charge before the court. Green is accused of sending an email on Thursday, February 19th, while in Freeport, Grand Bahama, claiming that a bomb had been placed at a location with the intent to cause fear and threaten a unlawful harm. When asked his plea, Green pleaded not guilty to the charge. The prosecution then requested that the court order Green to have no contact with any witnesses in the case. The court heard that he works at the same establishment as some of those witnesses. Although raising that concern, the prosecution did not object to bail being granted. Green was present without a lawyer and was granted bail in the amount of $5,000 with 2 short orders. The trial is set to begin on May 21st, 2026.
Stay with us. We'll be back with more stories from around the North when we return.
Step into styles at Indulgence Ladies Boutique, located in number 5 Big Kent Building, just 2 doors down from D's Watch Repair. They're open Monday through Saturday, 9 a.m. to 6 p.m., bringing you fashion for every occasion. Weddings, funerals, christenings, birthday, brunches, or just a night out. From plus size to regular, they've got the perfect fit for you. Discover handbags, perfume, body oils, fascinators, belt, and so much more. All in one place. Give them a call today at 826-0110. Indulgence Ladies Boutique, where fashion meets confidence.
Hello. What time is the flight?
No one asked us to go. Hello? Into the storm. Into the chaos. To witness devastation. No one asked us to go.
Are you ready?
Because it's the story that drives us forward, that brings truth to light, that connects us all. This is why we go. Breaking news out of Grand Bahama, our Raven Davis has been covering this story all day and joins us live now with the latest. Raven, what can you tell us?
Yes, Rumiko, I had a chance to speak to many of the residents, and many of them are concerned about...
Tragedy struck early and responsibility came sooner. But from small business community in East End, one young man chose to build instead of break. In tonight's segment of Defying the Odds, our Sherelle Dame shares the story of a young man who found purpose on the water.
A father, a family man, a business owner. Dominic Davis, also known as Mr. Dior, has proven that he can defy the odds by pursuing a vision he refused to let die. Here in East Grand Bahama, through setbacks and struggle, he built a freight service from the ground up. And today, we see through loss and struggle how he would rise.
My father passed away in 2003 when I was 7 years old. And my mother passed away in 2017 when I was 22 years old. My father passed away in 2003. It just was like I had to man up and become the man. I basically take care of myself, put myself through school with the help of my mother, working on weekends whenever I got a chance. You know, when everybody would be on the basketball court playing, I was up by a man named William Penn, Penn Ferry. That's like one of my role models, one of my idols I look up to. He basically responsible for what I have now, because I watching him run the ferry and how he would carry people back and forth to Abaco. I was always like, one day I want to be like him. You understand? I want to have my own business, the way I could serve people. I joined the police force at the age of 18, and I was there for about 6 years, I think. 6 years, and I left shortly after Dorian. After Dorian, I wanted to go into the business to full-time to see that there was a need for it up on this end, especially here in Swedenski, here in Abaco, getting the materials to the people, you understand, helping the people to rebuild. So I just left the force and decided to pursue it full-time. It was a gambling, though, but at the end of the day, I always pray and let God guide the way, you understand? So I asked him, the Lord, direct my path. And it was just pushing more to, be independent, do your thing, you understand? Just take the first step and he'll make the way. It was not so much about the money, it was about more of helping and doing something that you love. I never really considered it as working, you understand? Like, it was more helping people to rebuild, watching, like, stuff on the key that was demolished come back to life. People move back and forth. They carry their cargo like blocks and concrete and stuff. It just was a joy helping people to rebuild. My father was a born fisherman up to the time that he passed, and my mother was a cook, well, a chef up on the quay, up the Deepwater Quay. Philip was like my father after my father passed away in 2003. Philip and his wife, Imelda Thomas. Yeah, my first boat, Philip was the one that helped me helped me build it, you understand? He showed me what I needed to do, where I needed to place certain stuff on the boat to make it work, you understand? So he was like my partner until he passed away. And then his son, Philip Thomas, we like brothers, you understand? So just speaking about it right now got me emotional right now. He was a captain. He was a captain at the harbor, you understand? But he was like a go-to person for me. Anytime I had trouble or something with the engines, or I needed to know something about the boat or navigating or with the weather or anything, I could call him. Philip was one of those persons, he knew everything. Anything happening anywhere around the world at any time, you could ask him. Dior comes from my daughter's name, my first daughter. My name is Dior, so I was sitting down asking everybody, listen, these are a few names that they have that I should name the business in 2018, and everybody's like, man, go to Dior.
For Dominic, the journey is far from over. In fact, he believes this is only the beginning.
Yeah, if you could look right down the board, you see the sign right there that says, never give up. That's my motto. I always go by that. Never give up. In any situation you deal with, never give up. Always put God first. I mean, listen, God, I let God take the wheel. I hear him promising me a bigger landing craft, something that goes from here to Nassau, travel the whole 700 islands. I'm pushing towards it, one day at a time.
After competing against companies across the country, a Grand Bahama Junior Achiever is bringing home the crown for this year's national speech competition. Andreas Burrows of Grand Bahama Academy returns home to a warm ovation from fellow peers and teachers after winning the national competition, and he says the feeling is priceless.
But it was all worth it in the end. It wasn't easy having to stay and continue to practice, continue to make time for the speech. But it's all worth it. It's all worth it. It's a remarkable experience. Remarkable experience being able to come back to Grand Bahama with this trophy. So although the challenges were there, but we're in training for the world.
Burrows utilizes an excerpt from his winning speech, expressing everyone to break out of their shell and embrace any new challenges that may come.
And you take advantage of those things that may hold you back, and you use them to propel you forward. So that was the whole analogy behind my speech. And I hope that someone can be encouraged today to break out of your shell and to become a leader, to do the things that you wouldn't normally do, and break out of your shell in that sense. So that's what I'd like to share with anyone who's listening, anyone who's watching, to break out of your shell and to do things different so you could better yourself.
For 6 seasons, New Life Worship Center Apprenticeship Program has provided training and opportunity free of charge for both high schoolers and adults. Program leader Bishop Simeon Outen says that nearly 700 persons have benefited from this initiative. The program runs from March 7th through May 30th. Corporate partners say they hope the collaboration will create even more direct pathways to the workforce.
For the past 6 seasons, we have graduated close to 700 of our young men and women. Some have already gone on to continue. And so we're excited that we could make some small impact into our community.
We've recently hired persons through BTVI, where and that person is very successful in that position. And so again, the technical aspect is very important in what we do.
This season, New Life is partnering with BTVI, Focal, and SynGuard services to strengthen the pipeline from training to employment.
We're pleased to also offer facilities that also assist with the training of these students. It is a mechanism for students to then filter into our programs.
It's a need when we look at trades. They can go ahead and get their diploma. Also, they can get their certifications in those areas. BTVI offers certifications in all of our trades. And so once they've completed their diploma, they can then go ahead and take their certification exams and be professionals. You can demand a salary.
It may be months behind its originally scheduled date, but bringing joy and festive cheer to the East this past weekend was Reach Out Youth Ministries with their annual Christmas giveaway. Despite the delayed, children and families in East Grand Bahama, including Sweetings Key, were reminded that they are not forgotten as laughter, games, and smiles fill the day. Here's Yolanda Thompson Everest with this report.
It was a playful day in the East on Saturday, February 21st, as Reach Out Youth Ministries hosted their annual Christmas giveaway, originally slated for January but postponed to February due to unforeseen circumstances. Children from across East Grand Bahama, including Sweetings Key, gathered at the McLeanstown Dock, where they enjoyed candies, games, and toys, as organizers reminded families they have not been forgotten. The event also provided groceries and essential items to help families start the new year on a bright note. Dudley Said, a founder of Reach Out Youth Ministries, said despite the delay, the mission remained the same: to show love and continued support to those in the East and ensure no child felt overlooked at the start of the year.
So today, we were giving them hot dogs. We have grocery packages and also toys for the kids in this community. It's going to take everybody to make a difference in Grand Bahama. But I think it's much more special when we come in this area was devastated by the hurricane. That's why I'll do anything to continue to come back to assist this area.
Member of Parliament for East Grand Bahama, Kwesi Thompson, describes Dudley Said as a man with a generous spirit and a giving heart. Thompson also contributed groceries to the donation, noting that many families in the area are still facing hardships.
The reality is there are folks who are struggling with the cost of living. And so we have to do all that we can to help when it comes to assisting with the cost of living.
Margaret Lethan speaking to the impact of Reach Out Youth Ministries, noting that this ongoing support is vital for the children in the East.
It's just a giveaway and it's good for the community as always, as the 4 years that we have been here at this industry.
Now, candidate for East Grand Bahama for the Progressive Liberal Party, Monique Pratt, also assisted with donations for the event as organizers hailed the initiative a success.
You're watching Northern Vibes. Stay with us. We'll be back after this.
Step into styles at Indulgence Ladies Boutique, located in number 5B Kent Building, just 2 doors down from D's Watch Repair. They're open Monday through Saturday, 9 a.m. to 6 p.m., bringing you fashion for every occasion. Weddings, funerals, christenings, birthday, brunches, or just a night out. From plus size to regular, they've got the perfect fit for you. Discover handbags, perfume, body oils, fascinators, belts, and so much more. All in one place. Give them a call today at 826-0110. Indulgence Ladies Boutique, where fashion meets confidence.
Hello. What time is the flight?
No one asked us to go. Hello? Into the storm. Into the chaos. To witness devastation. No one asked us to go.
Are you ready?
Because it's the story that drives us forward, that brings truth to light, that connects us all. This is why we go.
Breaking news out of Grand Bahama, our Raven Davis has been covering this story all day and joins us live now with the latest. Raven, what can you tell us?
Yes, Shamiko, I had a chance to speak to many of the residents, and many of them are concerned about...
And that does it for this edition of Northern Vibes. I'm Shalia Roll. It's been a pleasure spending this time with you, and I can't wait to see you right back here next week, same time, same energy.
Learn to lean.
finding more power than I ever dreamed. We are learning to lean on Jesus. Lord, we are learning to live every day. Yes, sir. Learning to lean. We are learning to lean on Jesus. Lord, we're finding more power than I'd ever dreamed. We are learning to lean on Jesus. Well said, the broken-hearted and an altar I never found his soul so real. Then all that he asks for is a child I can trust with a heart that's pure and clean. Lord, we are learning to live every day. Yes, sir. Learning to live. Lord, we are learning to lean on Jesus. Every day of my life, we are finding more power than I ever dreamed. We are learning to lean on Jesus. One more thing, let me say this. Then in times of sickness, when I'm lonely and in despair, I call on Jesus, and he's always there. Oh, yes, he is. Then he won't leave me, he won't forsake me. He declares, I know he'll be there anytime or anywhere. Lord, we are learning to live every day. Yes, sir. Learning to live. We are learning to lean on Jesus. Every day of my life, we are finding more power than I'd ever dreamed. We are learning to lean on Jesus.
At the 66 Steps, I'm Matea Cunningham. This is ZNS.
Bahamas Tonight, the weekend edition, the eyes of the Bahamas on the Middle East. The nation's chief responds to a series of preemptive strikes shaking the region and what it could mean for the Bahamas. Plus, a milestone moment for the family Allens. The multi-million-dollar Maguana Airport Terminal is finally open. In sports, Redline Athletics bringing the heat on the track with the field and relay meet. The Bahamas Tonight, the weekend edition starts now. Well, happy Sunday. Thank you so much for joining us. Good evening. I'm Desmond Saunders, and welcome to the broadcast. The Bahamas is keeping a close eye on developments in the Middle East after the U.S. and Israel launched preemptive military strikes on Iran Saturday that ultimately claimed the life of Iran's supreme leader. In the aftermath, Iran has vowed revenge, launching missiles at Israel and Arab countries. Arab countries with U.S. military bases. A luxury hotel in Dubai was struck, while Iran has also launched missiles at Bahrain, Jordan, and Kuwait. So far, the U.S. has confirmed that 3 U.S. service members have been killed in action and 5 seriously wounded in military operations against Iran, while more than 200 have died in Iran. Prime Minister, the Honorable Philip Davis, says he is particularly concerned about the Bahamian embassy in Dubai.
That embassy is not far from the Israeli embassy in that for the UAE, and we are watching it very carefully to determine what happens. Sadly, Iran has turned its guns on the UAE, and we are monitoring that.
Prime Minister Davis anticipates Bahamians could soon be paying more at the pumps as a result of the ongoing military action. He says because the Bahamas is a consumptive economy, it will always be impacted by unrest.
As I always said, the stubborn elephant in our room is the cost of living. And we have very little control of costs. So when that, with the unrest in the Middle East, we expect, and it's projected, that oil prices might rise. And if that does, then all we can do is try to minimize the impact on our citizens by looking how we could either relieve it through the taxes that is now imposed on importation of fuels, and or giving relief in some other form or fashion.
Well, it's the latest island to see its airport upgraded through government's Family Island Airport Renaissance project, touted as the largest ever investment in Family Island airport infrastructure. Construction began on the new Maguana Airport Terminal December 2024 and was completed by the third quarter of 2025, while officials say it was connected to electrical power in January with its own transformer. Cleopatra Murphy was on the ground for the commissioning.
Residents say it has been a long time coming, but the long-delayed dream became a reality Saturday as officials finally opened the new multi-million-dollar Maguana Airport Terminal. Prime Minister the Honorable Philip Davis was on hand to cut the ribbon on the new fully air-conditioned facility that boasts a passenger ticketing area with seating for 30, office space for Bahamas Air and other carriers, bathroom facilities, vendor space, and a police station with a holding cell, while the airport also has an ambulance. Prime Minister Davis says the 3,200 square foot terminal's opening marks a monumental moment of progress for the island.
This airport, this new terminal standing before us, is a declaration of the importance of Maguana to our plans for development. It is a declaration that every Bahamian, regardless of which island they call home, deserves world-class infrastructure and a government that keeps its word and delivers.
Deputy Prime Minister, Minister of Tourism, Investments and Aviation, the Honorable Chester Cooper, says the infrastructural upgrade not only strengthens connectivity, but is key to driving economic growth on Maguana. He says the island is strategically positioned between Europe, Africa, the Caribbean and Latin America to become a transshipment hub.
We want to ensure that we're reducing the cost of shipping by ensuring that supplies come as directly as possible to the Caribbean rather than going to the USA and then coming back. So I think that is a part of what we envisage in the blueprint for change, the development of a port here in the south, and I believe it's a magnificent opportunity for Maguanians to benefit as a result of the development that it will bring.
The terminal was completed due to a public-private partnership between government and Maguana Island developers. Chairman Stephen Roy sees it as crucial for residents and the resumption of real estate development.
Nobody knows Maguana, and the value is you can land a plane here and you can be on, the most beautiful beach in the Bahamas in 5 minutes. So we got to get that story out.
Resident Iris Charlton calls the terminal's commissioning a bittersweet moment as residents have battled with a dilapidated terminal for so long. She is eager to see what opportunities arise as a result of the upgraded facility.
You can see we're pretty much untouched. There's a lot of unexplored territory. In fact, right now the inhabitants of Maguana only live on half of the island. There's another half that is uninhabited. And so we're looking forward to as many opportunities in terms of development, in terms of tourism, as we can possibly have, but we want it to be clean and safe.
The new airport terminal comes in at a price tag of approximately $2 million. For the Bahamas Tonight, I'm Cleopatra Murphy.
Great news for Maguana and the Bahamas. Cleopatra Murphy joining us. Thanks very much, Cleo. Chairman of Maguana Island Developers, Stephen Roy, sees upgrades at the Maguana Airport only lending to the island's appeal to investors. He says there are a steady stream of investors visiting the island, adding that there are already 2 signed interests with the luxury brands he hopes to advance while working with the Minister of Tourism, Investments and Aviation, the Honorable Chester Cooper, to hopefully attract more potential investors. The chairman says efforts to get environmental studies conducted are underway.
We are in discussions right now with a number of ultra-luxury brands in order to structure at least 1, if not 2, hotel developments just north of here on the beach. Because when you land on the runway and you can clear customs here, it's international, less than 5 minutes in a golf cart, let alone a car, you can be out on the beach. And I don't think there's any place else in the Bahamas, well, I'm not sure about that, but there aren't many places where you can land and be on a beautiful beach within minutes.
Stephen Norrie says Maguana's natural beauty is part of its appeal, and the goal is not to ruin it. He shares how soon he hopes to get the projects moving.
That's absolutely essential, because if the island loses its pristine beauty, then it will no longer attract the kind of development that everyone wants. You know, it takes a little longer than what I thought when I first came down here, but we're working very hard, and I would hope to be able to get many approvals, you know, within the next few months. All right.
Leading Bahamian company celebrates a major milestone. We'll explain when the Bahamas Tonight, the weekend edition, returns.
Isn't that nice? Wait, you missed it? Ah, you haven't been on the website. Here's how TDC can help you. Whether you're turning your home into a vacation rental, pitching a business idea, or growing what you've already started, the TDC is here to help. Visit tdcbahamas.com for every conversation, event, grant, and opportunity happening near you. Tourism is all of our business, and the TDC is here to support yours.
Back at Little Caesars and good. Our popular Chicago-style pizza is back for a limited time only. Enjoy this delicious, thick, buttery crust pizza that's packed with layers of cheese, meats, and veggies for just $18. That inclusive. Now available at all 5 of our locations. Little Caesars, Oakfield, Carmichael Road, East Street, Pineapple Plaza, Charles Saunders Highway, and One East Plaza.
Pizza. Welcome back. Supporters packed the corner of Cotto Avenue and Miami Street as a coalition of independents candidate Faith Persenio officially opened her Angliston headquarters, calling it more than just a campaign stop, but a commitment. Persenio says the office isn't just politics, it's presence, a sign she's here for the long haul, and for voters feeling disillusioned this election season, she had a clear message.
This campaign office today, I believe it solidifies me in this community, letting the people know that I'm not going anywhere. I'm here to stay, I'm here to build, I'm here to empower, and I'm here to bring ownership. Their voice matters. Their vote matters. And don't allow what has been taking place over the time in our country to discourage you, because you have an opportunity now to make a decision to bring true change and true empowerment into the country. It's time to vote, and it's time to make your voice be heard.
Santi says her campaign will focus heavily on direct engagement, meeting residents face-to-face and strengthening relationships throughout the constituency.
Boots on the ground. Boots on the ground, because people want to feel the person that is representing them. It's one thing to know a person's name, it's another thing to have a relationship with them. So we're going to continue boots on the ground. Of course, these are persons here standing with me from the community of Angliston. I am from Angliston, and so I know the pain, I know the hurt, I know that what we are facing. And so from here on, we're going to continue to touch the people and let them know we're going to all stand in this together and revamp this entire Angliston constituency.
As the nation marks Kidney Month, health advocates sounding the alarm on the rising number of Bahamians being diagnosed with kidney disease. Office Administrator of the Bahamas Kidney Association, Mildred Johnson, says many patients only discover the condition when it has already progressed, often leading to dialysis.
Kidney disease in the Bahamas is becoming a major issue for Bahamians. It's something that needs to be addressed because we're finding out that the numbers are increasing, particularly for patients that are on hemodialysis. When you look at the cause of kidney disease, the leading one is diabetes. The second leading one is hypertension. And then, of course, you have the other genetics and so on like that. Most people don't know they have kidney disease until they become ill, and then when the test results come back, they find out, my creatinine level is out of whack, and the doctor has to give you the sad news, hey, you need to go on dialysis.
Now, while the statistics are troubling, Johnson says there's still hope for patients living with kidney disease.
But like I said, there's hope with transplant. We are encouraging through the association, we're bringing help and hope to them with our consultant nephrologists, helping them to understand that getting themselves ready for transplant should start now. Search out and find somebody who's able to give you a kidney. We're also encouraging families to come along with them because, like I said, it's a psychological thing.
Women's Week culminating this weekend with a special church service Sunday morning at Christ Church Cathedral, led by the Women's National Advisory Council in conjunction with the Ministry of Social Services, Information and Broadcasting. The service placing the spotlight on Bahamian women leading the country in various fields, from law to psychology, is one small part of what Council Chairperson Sophia Williams describes as a week centered around empowerment.
On today, we are pleased to be visiting on the second Sunday after Lent at Church Christ Cathedral, where we are focused on the 16 distinguished women in law and order. We are pleased to have empowered, to have provided tools, to have provided experts, to have reached into those issues that are so important in our nation.
The week consisting of panels and events bringing Bahamian women and experts together to discuss matters facing women. Panelist DeAndre Miller.
The entire work that the National Women's Council did, not just as an organization, but for this symposium, partnering with organizations like social services, like the Anglican Diocese, Pastoral Care with the Tamar Project, like the law offices, it was just so many organizations that they brought in to ensure that they collaborated with to ensure that this event was as dynamic as it promised it would be.
Well, hats off. The Bahamas Striping Group of companies marking 16 years of transforming roads across the country and making its mark internationally. Known for quality work and creating opportunities for Bahamians, the company has earned praise from successive government administrations for its commitment to improving the nation's infrastructure. Lloyd Allen has the story.
Bahamas Striping Group of companies celebrating 16 years in transforming many parts of this country. And this past Friday, many dignitaries and others converging for the proud moment for the company.
Seeing our staff, advisors, board directors, our company grown from when Ingram was in power, Perry, Menace, Brave. We have grown consistently.
PSGC Executive Chairman Dominic Sturb says at the beginning, a $5,000 government grant led to a road paving contract on Exuma to becoming a multinational million-dollar player in transforming roads.
Atari and I go there and get the money. We go to the government, hey, we have this money, we can do this project. We get the project done, we pay the subcontractors, we pay our staff, we pay customs, VAT, immigration, and the government pays us in the back end.
Company President Otavio Mitchell agrees.
We are a company that has established ourselves as someone that gets the job done and someone who doesn't play party lines. We don't take no for an answer. We don't accept failure. And we are powered by one word, which is results.
As of early 2026, BSGC is actively engaged in roadwork projects totaling over 200 miles of infrastructure across the Bahamas. For that, many of those in attendance also highlighting the milestone.
The works they're committed to doing in a public-private partnership, that they could make an application to borrow $100 million, represents a new breed of Bahamian.
They are true philanthropists. You would note the amount of funds they donate for our young people so that young people can grow, young people can develop, preparing them for the future. And anytime they are given a contract, they demonstrate no degree of selfishness.
You know, on behalf of the entire government, how grateful we all are for what you've done over these last months and years, how you've helped to build the Commonwealth of the Bahamas.
We striped a basketball court in Gregory Town. I wasn't an MP then, I wasn't a senator then. I think that was my first candidacy. But they donated from back then.
They gave back to the community. It's an example, not only here in the Bahamas, but for other Caribbean, even in the Dominican Republic.
The night filled with good food provided by Manuelos and fireworks celebrating 16 years in transforming the Bahamas one road at a time. For the Bahamas Tonight, I'm Lloyd Allen.
Such an inspirational story. Well, sports is up next.
Hi, I'm Brent from CBS Bahamas. Listen, if you're a contractor or tradesman, you want to be a part of our Preferred Contractors Program. By enrolling in our Preferred Contractors Program, you'll save 10% automatically at both of our locations. And guess what? The more you spend, the more you save. That discount can increase. Register today at cbsbahamas.com/register using your trade name to be automatically enrolled.
Behind every strong economy is a bold entrepreneur, and we're here to support them, island by island. On Cat Island, we've helped 17 entrepreneurs turn their dreams into thriving businesses. Through over $360,000 in approved funding, the SBDC is strengthening Cat Island's economy by investing in its leading sectors: agriculture, fuel, and fishing. No matter the island, every business we support strengthens the economy. Starting with yours. SBDC Bahamas.
Welcome to your stress-free Sunday sports check. I'm Eugene Stewart. Well, the Red Line Athletics Track Club hosting a field and relay meet over the weekend. The meet serving as a key opportunity for our young Bahamian athletes to showcase their strength in the field and relay events on the road to Carifta. Head coach Tito Moss tells us more.
We know that normally in traditional track meets, the track tends to dominate, and we have some awesome field event persons, and we wanted to do a meet so that the field events will get their just due. So the focus today is specifically them and only them. I think Payne Bahamas is going to have a team that's probably going to be about 60 or thereabout. The performances have been extraordinary, and we are still about 3 weeks away from Carifta trial, so I expect the qualifiers to continue to roll in, and I expect the performances to continue to be as they've been so far, very spectacular.
Moss also sharing the importance of the addition of Olympian and Golden Girl Debbie Ferguson McKenzie to the coaching lineup.
Debbie has been a breath of fresh air. The kids love her. She has a wealth of knowledge, and we are grateful that she's joined up with us. She is totally responsible for our sprints, and we hope to have a number of sprinters qualify. We've had 2 qualified so far, Brianna Boodle. We have Bailey Babs, who ran 12:20 just outside of qualifying. So we expect to have 3 or 4 of our kids in Red Line Athletics qualify for the short sprints, which she's responsible for. And also, as a treat, Debbie Ferguson will actually be the sprint coach for Tame Bahamas for Carifta heading to Grenada.
Still in track news, under the theme Fueling the Nation Through Youth Athletics, the countdown is on for the 32nd edition of the GSSA Track and Field Championships. Organizers holding a press conference at the Ministry of Youth, Sports and Culture on Friday to announce the start of competition.
This championship continues to serve as a gateway of opportunity for many of our young people. Some will open doors college scholarship, national team representation, long life career in sports and sports management. But for all, it provides a safe and structured environment to grow, to learn, and to strive for excellence. As we look ahead to this year's championships, we expect high levels of competition, discipline of sportsmanship, and moments of excellence that will inspire a nation.
The 32nd edition of the GSSA Track and Field Championships set for this week, Wednesday, March the 4th through the 6th from the old Thomas A. Robinson National Stadium. In golf news, over 500 junior golfers from both public and private schools getting ready to put their talents on display at this year's Bahamas National School Golf Championships, set to begin tomorrow, March 2nd through the 6th at the Sports Center Golf Academy and 9-hole par 3 golf course. Week-long golf competition will feature students from both primary and high school divisions, as the private and small schools tee off on Monday and primary schools on the greens on Tuesday. In baseball action, day 2 of competition wrapping up for the inaugural Atlantis College Baseball Series between the Penn State Nittany Lions and the Indiana State Sycamores. For Indiana State, they would go up 1-0 to begin the game, but it would be the Penn State Nittany Lions tying things up with a home run. For the Sycamores, they would retake the lead 2-1, but it would be the Nittany Lions putting runners in scoring position. But on a ground out to second base, the Indiana State Sycamores would remain undefeated in the series. And finally, in tennis news, the UTR Junior Series wrapping up at the John McEnroe Tennis Center at Bahamas. The tournament featuring junior players from multiple age divisions competing throughout the weekend in a display of skill, sportsmanship, and competitive spirit. From the youngest competitors to the oldest divisions, players showcasing strong effort and camaraderie as the event continues to highlight the growth of junior tennis in the Bahamas. Tournament organizers Deron Donaldson and Nikita Fountain describing the event as a tremendous success, while emphasizing the importance of increased match play opportunities for the development of junior players across the country. The next junior tournament is scheduled for next Friday and Saturday as the series continues to build momentum. And that's been your stress-free Sunday Sports Check. I'm Eugene Stewart. Enjoy your weekend.
Introducing the Focal Smart Pass app that helps you to fuel up faster. Here's how it works. Download the app on the App Store or get it on Google Play and create your profile with payment details. Visit your nearest Shell station. Open the app, scan the pump's QR code, select your payment amount, and begin fueling. Say goodbye to cash and cards because the Focal Smart Pass offers secure and convenient payment options right at your fingertips. Download Focal Smart Pass now and fuel up faster today.
Unity. Bam, 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 bam. Feel the rhythm, feel the purpose, feel the power of togetherness. On Tuesday, March 24th at 9:30 a.m., the journey begins as the baton of camaraderie run ignites the spirit of the GSSA schools of New Providence. From campus to campus, junior to senior high, the baton will travel through our government schools, symbolizing unity, teamwork, respect, and shared responsibility. Each handoff tells a story. Each stride carries pride. Each school plays a role. Rack-attack. That's not just the beat, that's the sound of schools connected. That's the sound of New Providence moving as one. The journey builds, the energy rises, and on Thursday, March 5th, the final exchange will be made to the Minister of Education and Technical and Vocational Training, officially ushering in the opening of the GSSA 2026 Track and Field Championships. This is more than a run. It's a message. It's a movement. It's New Providence standing together for its youth. Baton of Camaraderie Run, fueling the nation through youth athletics. The road to GSSSA 2026 begins here. New Providence, pass it strong, run it proudly, carry it together.
Now for a check on tonight's weather forecast, Chief Meteorologist Basil Lee joins us. Good evening, Basil.
Good evening, Desmond. A pretty nice day here in the capital with just a few clouds outside of our studios. The current temperature at 77 degrees, the relative humidity 71%. Now the winds there out of the northeast at 5 miles per hour. The barometric pressure 1,017.7 millibars. That is 30.05 inches, and the pressure is steady. Now your temperatures around the islands: Marsh, Abaco 74 degrees, and that's where that frontal boundary is right now. 78 degrees in Greentoll Key, 78 also in Freeport, Grand Bahama, the Berry Islands at 79. Alistown, Bimini, 74 degrees, 79 in Roxanne, Eleuthera, also Harbour Island. Artisan, Cat Island, 80 degrees. Black Point, Exuma, Kemp Space, Andros, and Fresh Creek, Central Andros, all at 78 degrees. 80 degrees in Georgetown, Exuma, Key, and also in San Salvador. Ragged Island, Clarence Island, Long Island, and Crooked Island reported 81. Betsy Bay, 82. Acklands, 82. Matchitown, Niagara, 81. And the Texas Islands at 80 degrees. Your boating forecast tonight through Monday in the northwestern islands. Once that front goes through later on tonight, those winds will swing out of the northeast, increasing in speeds 12 to 18 knots. The wave height is building 3 to 6 feet. And once that happens, caution flags go in place for your boaters later on tonight for the northwest Bahamas. Now, the low tide will take place at 33 minutes past midnight with a high tide at 6:49 tomorrow morning. And for the central islands, northeast winds at 10 to 15 knots. The wave height is 2 to 4 feet. In the southeastern islands, we have a more easterly flow at 12 to 18 knots, and the wave height is 3 to 6 feet, so caution flags are also in place for the southeast Bahamas through tomorrow. And our satellite pictures showing that frontal boundary already went through Grand Bahama and right now across southern Abaco, and that will continue sinking towards the southeast, pushing through the capital later on tonight. Behind that, as we told you already in the boating forecast, those winds will increase, so we'll have some breezy conditions for the next couple of days. Mainly clear tonight, low temperature around 71 degrees, and tomorrow we're looking at partly sunny, breezy, and quite pleasant with the high temperature climbing up to 79 degrees. And your extended weather forecast, beautiful conditions right through Thursday. But come Friday, heading into the weekend, we'll have a couple of showers working their way back into our forecast, but they will be of a brief nature. Temperature-wise, we're going to be climbing back up into the 80s the middle part of the week, where we'll be back into the low 80s, but the nighttime temperatures will remain relatively comfortable in the low 70s for the next 7 days. Desmond.
Well, sounds good. Thanks, Basil. For over 180 years, the Royal Bahamas Police Force has stood as a nation's symbol of law and order. From just 16 men in 1840, it's grown into one of the country's largest law enforcement agencies. This March, in honor of Police Month, the force officially kicked off celebrations with a church service this morning in Makadesh Ministries International, Fox Hill, reaffirming its commitment to faith, community engagement, and building public trust. Here's West Alex Forbes.
ACP Roberto Goodman explaining the initiative to participate in worship service, emphasizing the importance of beginning the month grounded in faith and unity.
We kick off the first day, which is today's date, which is the 1st of March, and our esteemed Commissioner of Police, Ms. Shanta Knowles, she thought it fit to allow all the commanders and the various divisions throughout the organization to attend a church of their choice. And what she also did is allow them for officers under their remit, that commanders under their remit, when they will be attending the church service with the officers in command of those areas.
But the celebration extends far beyond the church walls. A series of activities are planned for the upcoming weeks, including a fun run walk and many more.
This Saturday we have the fun run walk, which is scheduled. Then the following Saturday we have a karate, for those persons who are interested in martial art. And then we have the following Saturday, it'll be like the basketball, and then we have the softball tournament. But all throughout those weeks, we celebrate different things. We have like a domino tournament. We also have, we'll be visiting the old folks' home, some of the old folks' home, and just in collaboration and celebrating our Police Month.
Goodman says the goal is not just to celebrate, but connection. Throughout Police Month, the force is focusing on strengthening relationships with communities across the Bahamas, sharing in fellowship, service, and love.
Well, this entire month, the police force is here. You know, we talk about gaining trust, and we out to the various community and sharing in love. We believe that even like how we started today with God's, you know, the Bible say in the familiar scripture, we also, you know, that for God so loved the world that He gave His only begotten Son, and that's the foundation of everything. That's love.
For the Bahamas Tonight, I'm Wes Calix Forbes.
That ends the Bahamas Tonight, the weekend edition. Thank you for continuing to make ZNS your first choice for news and information, as only the sun covers the Bahamas better than ZNS. On behalf of the entire team, thanks for watching. Have a good night and a safe week.
At the Broadcasting Corporation of the Bahamas, I'm Clint Watson, and this is ZNS.